Yo, hey guys, it's Beast, back with some more beastly content. Today I figured we would do a final tour of our Manibus base here, guys. So, this is the ultimate end-game Manibus base. As for Way of Winter, no, this is not the ultimate end-game base, because Way of Winter has a heating system, so I'm sure the ultimate in-game base would be having like a full heating system built in your base. But aside from that, what I will say here is the fact that this is the ultimate Manibus base. This base here is just great. So we're on our ground floor here now. This is where my storage is kept, as well as my furnace array. This is a 10 furnace array. I think it's 10, it might be 12 or 13 now actually, but regardless, it's all tied to a switch, so I can toggle it on and off. So when I'm not using it, I can just turn it off, and that'll save me on 50 watts. Now, doesn't matter as much now because I don't have as much used on my power system, but back in the day when I had you know, the whole fuel, you know, turning acid into mixed fuel for making the red plasma rounds, which I used to do for servers. I could make so many red plasma rounds. Also, I can make the acid just by using energy links and sulfur in this base. So I literally can make pretty much anything in this base, and I even have a giant farm attached to this base. So I can make pretty much any item that I wanted food-wise for boosting any sort of thing or anything like that. Also, I could just make a ton of units off of growing things and selling them and making a ton of energy drinks. Also, there's that whole like Yanbai dumpling or something that's worth like 10,000 energy links per one, and it's literally just like morels and a couple other things. It's really not much. As you can see here, this is like the little kitchen area here now. I have my cook stove up here, I have my fridge up here, my wish machine, my synthesis bench, of course, and then downstairs you've seen was the supplies bench, as well as my weapons bench. All, of course, are max level and max tier, no problem. Also, I have my vehicle workshop over here. I don't actually use like the large vehicles or the trucks or anything for vending or anything. I don't actually do player vending very much, just because I think you get just enough for, you know, just max selling to the NPC vendors, and player vendors annoying, and it's just something that's not, I don't mess with it. I mean, I could easily with having a farm, you know, selling all sorts of items, but I just never mess with player vendoring. So yeah, that's my thing about not having like a facility for my large truck or anything. And also, it's a very far drive from where I'm at to get to Blackfell, so I think if I was to actually ever want to do that. And also, I think they're adding it where like there's a no parking zone in Blackfell now in the Way of Winter update, if you didn't know. So it's interesting that they're still adding updates to Manibus, and like Manibus is getting an update on the release of Way of Winter, which is all about the new scenario. So I'm wondering if maybe it's going to be a minute before we get any actual new scenarios, and they might just start running Manibus and Way of Winter over again. And I'm wondering what the player base is going to feel like after playing through a round of Way of Winter and having to deal with the cold mechanic, and having the option of just, and maybe Manibus 2 is now going to get this temperature mechanic, and it's just going to be a region where it's really hot all the time, and you're going to have an air conditioner in your base now if you do choose to stay on Manibus. It's going to be very interesting because I noticed they updated Blackfell, so if they updated Blackfell, maybe this temperature system is coming to Manibus as well. I think I've seen some other things mentioning temperature in Manibus, like just in the game already. And it does look like the temperature gauge is built into the map's UI, which I'm thinking the UIs themselves and everything are constant. Like if they're updated on one scenario, they're updated on every scenario sort of thing. And I know that's not what this video is to talk about, but you know, Way of Winter is literally hours away from us, guys. I mean, it's going on maintenance at 9 o'clock PDT, and I think it launches at 6 a.m. So yeah, I just figured I'd show you my base, because I've never done a full tour of this base, and I just love the design of this base. I honestly wish I would have done some like camera mode shots of it, just to show you like the ceilings and the walls and how everything's decorated. I have so many prints. I've been doing nothing but gathering prints and, you know, mods and everything else. I didn't actually get anything but a burn build gathered up, funny enough, for you know, the burn stuff. But due to the new silo changes that are coming, they're actually adding it to where at the end of the silo you're going to be able to choose which mod you want to get, from burn to power surge to frost vortex or whatever, unstable bomber, or whatever it is that it actually has an option to drop. Like, it's still only going to drop what it is going to drop, but you now have a choice of choosing what type of mod it is. So if you're farming for power surge mods, you're going to be guaranteed to get the power surge mod. Once again, just another interesting thing I read in the Way of Winter patch notes that was posted on Steam on the 15th. Very, very interesting stuff there. There just seem to be a lot of different things coming to the game when it comes to just changes to the core gameplay that's not even revolving entirely around the Way of Winter scenario. It's going to be stuff that's going to affect how other scenarios are played out throughout the entire game. And I'm also thinking this temperature system is going to be just a new part of the game. And also with this whole dynamic weather thing, I'm wondering if Manibus is not going to have its own touch of dynamic weather as well. It's going to be interesting seeing what all will transfer over to Manibus and actually update Manibus as well while releasing on this Way of Winter scenario. And I'm almost thinking that maybe they're going to do like a really tuned up Manibus run after Way of Winter. I will not be surprised if... See, they could do this. They could do Manibus Plus, where it's like a Manibus mode, but it's a plus mode, so there's maybe new missions added, new side quests, and things like that. And then they could also do a Way of Winter hard mode, which, from the sounds of Way of Winter and the fact that they're saying they do not recommend players joining Phase 4 because it will be very, very difficult, it sounds to me like the normal version of Way of Winter might be hard enough already and we may not need a hard mode. But what I'm thinking here is that they're going to want us to play Manibus again. I don't think we're done with Manibus itself. I don't think this is... And I definitely don't think this is the last time we're on this map. We may even have new scenarios that release on this same Manibus map. Actually, my current theory that I've just kind of came up with myself here is that all of the areas that are like shown that are map areas that we can't visit, because like the current shown areas that we can't visit include Way of Winter's map region, but there's one more map region. So from what I'm thinking here is we're going to get one more PvE scenario releasing that final piece of the map, and then after that we're going to get a full drop of all three maps combined and a completely different story across all three maps. And that would be absolutely amazing if this was to run out like this. I think that the game, and once again, we're talking about this stuff because, well, you see what my base is doing here. This is my water purification setup here. As you can see here, here's the purified water. Impure acid also runs into here. I have this little toggle switch here, right here, and I don't know if I already did it or not. I may have. But I pulled my storage containers down, and you've seen all the impure acid I pulled out of there. And that's why I don't like try and put my water purifiers where like a specific spot or anything where they don't get impure acid and only get water or something. Because I like impure acid because that means you get a lot of acid farmed up. And there's just no way possible for the water purifiers to ever really fill up with full stacks like those 2 storage containers I have up there to ever fill up with full 32 stacks of impure acid. You're almost always going to be getting at least 20 at least 20 purified water that's going to be there before impure acid ever hits there, or at least it'd take a very, very long to gum up. And if it did gum up, it would be 64,000 impure acid to collect and put into the acid brewing barrels. Like I said, this base was decked out. At one point I had a whole bunch of the fuel refinery things, like the advanced refinery stations. I don't even remember what they're called now. It's been so long since I've worried about doing that. I'm not sure if we're even going to have Prime Wars on Way of Winter. I'm thinking they're going to be called something else, and they're not. Hopefully they're not just going to be another break the silver shield, go make a bunch of plasma rounds slash, what is it before red plasma rounds that you have to get the pneumatic specialization for red plasma. There's the biomass missiles. So hopefully we're not crafting a bunch of biomass missiles again. Hopefully that's not what this turns into. That's my main concern, is with this new thing that's not Prime Wars. And I'm wondering if there's going to be Prime Wars as well as that. And it'd be really interesting to see Prime Wars. I don't really see why they wouldn't put Prime Wars as well in it. It's such an easy implementation. It's just putting objective markers on the map, and then they can literally use the Manibus bosses if they want. Or, just one of the bosses from, the game of Way of Winter. We'll see tomorrow, guys! And once again, just wanted to show you the base. As I said, I have so many different wall prints and floor prints and everything that I've been farming staying on the Legacy server. Just kind of figured I'd do a little bit more of a lighter video here, just kind of showing a tour of my base and talking about, a couple of Way of Winter theory, and things like that. So how have y'all been? Are y'all kind of sad to see your base go tomorrow? Because I'm starting to get the base blues here. That's where I'm at with it. And we're gonna do one final tour here, one final thing, and this is my crop growing facility. We're just gonna go ahead and check it out here. This used to be contaminated berries only, but recently I've been growing a whole lot of different crops in here. Mainly because I've been breed boosting the crap out of seeds. That's another thing I will go ahead and mention here. If tonight is going to be your last harvest, you need to get out as many breed boosted seeds as you can so that you can take as many seeds as you can into the Way of Winter season. Now, I do know you're limited to 20k points, so there will be a certain number you're actually going to get to take, but you do want to take one of each at least, and you also want to have certain ones like morel seeds. I'd try and take at least 10 morel seeds, if not more, just because eventually you're going to want deviated morels for the Yombai dumplings, so you can be making yourself that 10k caps, or 10k energy links with every single time you sell one of those things. I mean, it's just ludicrous. The rest of the stuff on there is just literally grow the plant, harvest it, and you're good, guys. I mean, it's literally one of the most OP items to make in the game when it comes to food items. And I do hope that you got every single one of your food recipes unlocked. If you have not joined Way of Winter yet, when you're watching this video, or if Way of Winter is out but you haven't left your old server yet, I do recommend for you to watch the 4 videos linked below and my 4 previous videos, all of which were Way of Winter preparation videos. They were just, I did my preparation videos. I'm not going to cover it anymore. I'm not going to do one of those before you join Way of Winter. Watch this video. I already did those. I mean, they were like days ahead, so I gave you time to farm the stuff. But yeah, but I do believe this is about the end of the video. Go ahead and leave a like on it if you did enjoy it, and keep it beast mode.